So I'm taking out my phone, not because I'm going to take phone calls or answer emails or texts, which as a legislator we can multitask that way. But anytime you give a politician a mic, you have to make sure one of the first things they're tracking their own time, because we can talk. And I want to make sure that I stay respectful of this process and get to the questions and answers and the comments from the public. A couple of things I do want to address in my opening comments is that there's a fundamental principle that, it's going to sound silly that I say this, but I want you to understand that I don't think there's general agreement on the various sides of this issue on this fundamental principle. And that fundamental principle is, for me, diversity is a value. Diversity is an end, and diversity is a means to an end, both in higher education and the workforce, and even more so. Okay? That is, if we want to do research, if we want to look at what research says about it, is supported. If we want to look at what the Supreme Court says about equal opportunity programs and policies, it is supported. But I don't think there's general agreement on that key fundamental principle. Why is it a value? Well, there's lots of reasons, but just to give you a couple examples. One, in our schools, it enhances the learning environment and the critical thinking skills of all students. And at a time where we're focused on the economy, and we're looking at how we improve in a global market, it is critical for global competitiveness. So diversity is a value as an end and a means to an end, a fundamental principle. I want to talk about a couple myths about equal opportunity programs and policies and offer a definition of what we're even talking about here tonight. One, that to achieve that diversity, it is a myth that you need to give up quality. Okay, this isn't about someone who's qualified versus someone who's not qualified. Okay, that is a myth. That is a myth that is often perpetuated about equal opportunity programs. It is also a myth that a true merit system exists. We would like to believe so. We would like to feel that way. That is what the basis of the American principle is, a merit system. But let me share statistics. This comes from Colorado, but I guarantee Utah's probably not that much different. 80% of all jobs are filled by word of mouth, not job posting, internet ads, or classifieds. Where does that word of mouth come? Probably from people you know best. It comes from the circles. Okay? Look at our boardrooms. Look at our CEOs. Okay? And think about the impact if all those jobs are filled by word of mouth. Okay? A merit system truly exists is a myth. Equal opportunity programs and policies, and probably the biggest myth of all, and the one that brings us here tonight, is not about preferential treatment. Preferential treatment is already illegal. It is illegal in our Utah state statute, and it is illegal by federal law. Preferential treatment does not exist in the state of Utah. So if we are here to stop preferential treatment, we can go home. Because it's already stopped. It doesn't exist. In 2002, there was an audit of the University of Utah Medical School, okay, alleging that there was preferential treatment. Okay. The audit found no evidence of preferential treatment in admission policies at the University of Utah Medical School. Okay. There is no data to back up the idea that preferential treatment exists. Equal opportunity programs and policies is about outreach. It's about retention. It is about the University of Utah students who are in the elementary schools in my district working with underserved populations to make sure that they know they have a role to play at the University of Utah in higher education. That is what equal opportunity programs and policies are about. Mr. Connerly spoke very eloquently, I believe, in terms of what the state constitution means, the federal constitution means when he used the words Bible. And that's why when I think about the idea of amending the Constitution, whether that be the state constitution or the United States Constitution, it should not be something that we take lightly. It should not be something that we do based on mythology, based on politics, based on whatever that goal is, other than sound constitutional principle and fundamentals. We are fortunate in the state of Utah to have a body called the Constitutional Revision Commission. It is a nonpartisan body made up of both legislators from both parties, as well as attorneys, judges, experts on the Constitution. And they are there to provide guidance. They're there as an advisory board, but they're there to look at what is being proposed for the Constitution, to amend the state Constitution, and give feedback. What are some of the unintended consequences? This constitutional amendment has not been before that body, despite efforts to get it there. If we are serious, regardless of how we may feel on this particular issue, if we are serious about amending the Constitution, then we need to step back and we need to let this body do its work. And we need to understand fully before either we as a legislator vote on this, and before we ask the public to vote on this, to make sure that we all understand both what are the potential intended as well as the possible unintended consequences of amending the state constitution in this way. The Constitution deserves to have that respect. Let me close by saying this. What is not a myth is the need for equal opportunity policies and programs. We need to look at no further than our own backyard when we look at disparities in graduation rates by race and ethnicity. Nationally, 46 out of 100 Hispanic youth who start elementary school will graduate high school. That is a problem that needs to be addressed. In Utah, only 49% of college and university students are women, compared to 57%. That is a problem that needs to be addressed. Equal opportunity programs and policies still have their place. That is not a myth. What brings us here, constitutional amendment before us, is based on one. Thank you very much.
Come on,